Welcome back to Wayne TV. I'm Joel Gilly. I have some very special guests. We're talking again, Sherry. Seems like we just did this. Now I'm bigger. We're doing a little bit different this month because we have so much going on at the United Way that we are also talking about another great partnership that you have going on. So why don't you introduce our special guest?
Well, I will, and thank you. This is a great partnership, and we do appreciate the opportunity to talk about one more thing because there's a lot of great stuff going on. This is a collaboration actually with the whole community, and so I'm happy to have with me Pastor Rose from the First Church, and he has been behind, well, his whole church has been behind this effort really to really change what the learning loss is looking like for the students that we have in Wayne County. He's going to tell you more about it, but this effort's been going on for quite some time with them. And then we've got collaborations going on between United Way and all of these nonprofit organizations, governmental agencies that are really working together, as well as Wayne County Public Schools, to make sure that we can address this learning loss and support kids this summer. So I'll pass it on to you. If you'll just please share a little bit about how this kind of got started several months ago.
So Joel, 2 years ago, we were working with our partner school, North Drive, just around the corner from us on Royal Avenue, to help students that were struggling with reading. And then we really got started in a great program, and then this thing called COVID came along, shut down schools, changed the dynamics of education. Out of COVID, what we found is the 13,000 students in public schools, that about 6,000 were virtual students. And those virtual students, a great majority of them are struggling. In fact, they came back to the classroom with a loss, a real gap. And so our heart in the community with people like United Way and Boys and Girls Club, the Family Y, and the faith-based community was to really address that need. And so we started this collaborative effort called Unlimited Impact, because I'm not sure that any of us know all the good that we're going to do this summer with these probably 3,000 to 5,000 students that are really about a grade behind because of COVID. And so we're trying to recruit tutors to help us this summer to partner with Wayne County Public Schools. Wayne County Public Schools is a challenge, as many people know, because their staff are just overwhelmed by this year being both in person and virtual. So a lot of them that normally would teach in summer school are just really exhausted from the year, both physically and emotionally. And we want to partner with them and help that staff. And so we have 17 sites in addition to the sites that are being conducted by Wayne County Public Schools in which students can be tutored, because the census is full with the tutoring program, the Summer Scholars Program through Wayne County Public Schools. And so these 17 sites are really important. And we've got 17 partners that are ready for us, but what we need right now are volunteers. And that's where Sherry and United Way have been amazing. And so we're sort of like at go time here. It's T-minus about 7 days here for the clock. And so we need people to volunteer to really become a tutor and help change the student's life. And that's where we go back to Sherry, because United Way has done such a fabulous job at quarterbacking this process of getting volunteers on the field helping students this summer.
I love that example there. And you know, another thing that's crazy to me is you don't think about that learning loss. You know, this past year has been so difficult for all of us, but tell me another time in the history of students where you've been a grade behind through, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's unfair to them. And so I think that's an awesome effort that you guys are putting forth right now to catch them back up just a little bit this year.
And Joe, one of the problems is that in third and fourth grade, there are basic building blocks in reading and math that if those students don't overcome those blocks of learning phonetical principles or learning math principles in third and fourth grade, they carry that loss with them. They can never overcome it. So that's why this is really essential. You said something that's really powerful. No one's talked about it. It's out of sight, out of mind with a lot of people. You don't see the learning loss, but it's real. And it's impacting our community, and it's going to be generational if we don't do something about it this summer. So this is really critical. This is not like a great project or a good project. There is not a better project right now for us, for Wayne County students.
So what can people do if they want to get involved? What's the best way to get involved?
They can go right to our website, which is unitedwayne.org. There's a huge button on there that you can click on. It takes you right to the volunteer application. And then that goes to Rachel. Rachel is working today most all day, just really trying to match what we have with the students that are already registered. But more and more students are coming in because what's happened is parents are figuring out now that they are full at the schools. And so that if they want their kids to receive summer school, they're full. full. They've closed it off. So now if they want their kids to get something else, this is an opportunity for them to do that. It's for K through 8, and it's from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. But there are 2-hour blocks, and then lunch is provided from Wayne County Public Schools for all of these sites.
Okay.
So we're able to make sure that there is nourishment and that there is a caring tutor on the other side. These sites that are really being willing, you know, we've been working with the Goldsboro Housing Authority. Gosh, as Pastor Rose said, the Boys and Girls Club, the Family Y, Wayne County Public Library has been extremely supportive, and then community supporting schools, helping us to get all of this to make sure that we're not just getting any volunteer, they're being trained, and they're, you know, just really getting the academic piece that's so important, that they feel comfortable, because you don't have to be a past educator or a current educator to do this.
I'm glad you said that. I was about to ask if I want to do it.
Anybody can do this. They're given the tools. They're really given strategies to make sure that this happens, to make sure that they're feeling comfortable and that the kids are getting something. We know that what we are hopeful for is when they go back to school this fall, they're going to be another step closer to where they need to be. And, you know, talking about the kids that are, you know, there are some that are not going to be able to get in because summer school could not handle but so many. You know, you cannot look at a student and know that they were not affected by this. It doesn't matter. I mean, my child was, for the most part, straight A student, a senior, really could handle the whole virtual learning if necessary, but it doesn't matter. I know that she still had a loss. She still, it doesn't matter where they were, they had a loss last year, no matter how hard we tried, from so many different angles. And we know parents tried, and caretakers tried, and Wayne County Public Schools tried to find ways that they could make sure that they were getting what they needed. But when you're, you know, isolated from that for so long, from the, you know, the atmosphere and the consistency, and the educational piece for so long, we know that they all missed out.
Absolutely.
So this is a great way for your students to be able to participate. Registration for students is on that website also, but we're really looking strongly now for some volunteers. You don't have to commit 4 hours. You don't have to commit every day. What you can do, we'll take whatever you can do. Monday through Thursday, if it's 10 to 12, that's better for you, or from 12 to 2. We met with some of the volunteers last night, and so, you know, they were saying, we're really excited about this opportunity. Some of them were saying we haven't been able to volunteer because, you know, for the safety of our kids, schools were not allowing volunteers to come in. And so this is a way that you can make a difference.
That's awesome. The other important thing is there's so many locations. There's going to be a location close to you, right?
Yes, that's a really important, and you know, Pastor Rose and his staff have really concentrated on the sites, because knowing that whether it's a faith-based community or whether it's a nonprofit that's opening up the doors, we knew that it needed to be somewhere accessible, and so we've worked really hard to make sure that happened.
That's awesome. Again, you know, it's in partnership with the public school system too. I think, you know, that kind of gives it a little bit of a stamp of approval. You know, it's not just community people getting together. The public school system is on board with this as well. And again, like Sherry said, you don't have to have a background in this. If you just want to help out and you have a desire to volunteer, they'll teach you what you need to know. So I think that's important.
Yes, sir.
They'll take anybody. Anything else we left out that we need to talk about?
No, I think that's great. I think all the sites, we just really need volunteers. And I know it's really easy to start thinking about this. What I would encourage you to do, if you're thinking about this, just go ahead and press that button, and then let's have a conversation.
Cool.
There's no commitment to press the button. All you're doing is beginning a conversation. And once we get into the conversation, I think you're going to find this is something you could do.
Absolutely.
It's important to know, I mean, we recognize it's summer. You might be on vacation. You might not be able to commit to every day. We're working really hard to make sure that, and it's the same with the students. We know that parents are probably going to say, look, my child has really had a tough year too. They might not be able to do every day, but they know that if it's 1 day or 2 days a week, it's still going to be icing on the cake for them. And so whatever you can do will work around what your needs are.
Cool. Again, you can head to the United Way's website. That's where all the information is. You can hit that button, get your kids signed up, or sign up to volunteer as well. Y'all, thank you so much for everything you're doing for the community.
Thank you.
And we need your help now to go sign up to help out with this. Press the button at the United Way website right there, and all the information is there. If you have any questions, give the United Way a call as well. I'm sure Rachel would love to take the phone call.
Yes, she will.
We appreciate y'all, and go online and click that button now.